Welcome back to Prompting Process. Ever wished your Python program could actually talk back to you? In this video is going to, you'll learn how to make your code interactive, where Python asks questions, takes your answers, and responds like a little chatbot. Let's make Python talk to you. In today's lesson, you will unlock one of Python's coolest superpowers, user input, and make your code feel alive. Now, in the last two videos, we learned about variables, how to store values like names, age, and so on. You will learn how to use the input function to make your program interactive. Up until now, all the programs we've written were just print information using the print function. But with user input, we can ask the user to type something, and then Python can use that information to give us results. Let's start simple. Let's start by writing this. You see the syntax input first, then parentheses, then quotes. Then the question, what is their name? Okay, now I'm going to run this program. When I run it, you can see here, it says, what is your name? I'm going to put my name. And when I hit enter, it goes to the next line. See what happened. Python printed the question, what is your name? And then waited for me to type something. That is called user input. I just typed my name. Okay, Python pauses until you give it a response. Now, we don't just want to ask the question, we, we want to save the answer so we can use it later. So let's start by creating a variable. So what we are going to do is we'll create the variable name, then name equal to input. Okay, now we've created the variable name. Any name I put here will become the variable. Okay, so let's go ahead and print this. So now when I run this, it's asking me what is my name. I'm going to tell my name, write my name, then enter. You see, hello, Choma, the exclamation mark. So please note the syntax here. Okay, when you want the variable to appear, you need to write it behind the quotes and use the plus sign. Okay, Python actually talks back. It remembers what you type and includes it in the message. Okay, let's go one step further. What if we want to ask for a number, like say your age? So let's go ahead and type this. See? Now the variable here is age, and we want the user to enter how old he or she is. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to run only this place. I don't want all of them to run. So you can come here and click on it, that is run the correct line or selection. And you can also use F9 to do that. So I'm going to click on this, and it's going to ask how old are you, and I'm just going to put 18. then enter, and it will give me you are 80 years old. Okay, so you can actually run a line or to just select it and hit on this icon or F9. It will run the current tab for you. But then if you want to run the whole thing, you can press F5 on your keyboard, and it will also give you the same results. Here, I'm going to put my name. Hello, your name is Chioma. How old are you? 18. Then it will give me your 80 years old. It runs the whole program. That's work. But here's something important. Even though you typed a number, Python treats everything from the input function as a text or string. So if we try to do any math with it, Python will complain. So let's see an example. When you type this age equal to input, how old are you? And here we are going to remove this. Okay, we are going to remove it, and we are just going to say print. We'll put our parentheses. We'll say age plus 10. Okay, now when we run this, I'm just going to select this line and hit F9. When you run this, it's still going to ask me how old I am. I'm going to do 18. Then when I press enter, you can see the error. Python is complaining. Okay? Python says it cannot add a string to a number. So in line 4, Python sees everything here as a string. So even when you put 10, which is supposed to be a number, an integer, Python still sees it as a string, a text. That's why when I ran print h plus 10, there is an error because addition cannot be done with text. Okay, so we are going to fix this. Let me go ahead and delete this because this will always return an error message. So what I'm going to do here is um how old are you? So um before I even think about putting the input, I'm going to put another thing which is int for integer. Okay, so here is it. So I'll put integer. This means that when I write how my age, it's going to convert it to a number that I can do calculations with, and it won't be a string again. But without this int at the beginning, Python will see it as a text. Now I'm going to come here and I'm going to write this. Okay, print in 10 years you will be age plus 10 years old. So when I select, I'm going to select this and I'm going to run it F9. Okay, so here in the console, it's going to ask me how old am I, how old I am. Then I'm going to write 18. Then Python will do its work and say in 10 years time, you'll be 28 years old. So it added 10 years to my age. That is how it works. Python takes the input, converts it to a number, does the math, and print the result. It does all the heavy lifting for you. You just made your first interactive Python program. Well done. Now let's still use our grocery example style. Here's what we're going to do. Let's put it all together into a mini project. We are going to ask the user their name and age and tell them how old they'll be in 10 years' time. Okay. Now I'm just going to write a note here so that I remember about comments. You use the hashtag so that anything you write here is just a comment. You're going to say user input, user input, mini project, mini project. Okay. Remember, we talked about comments in the previous video, in the syntax video. You can check it out later. We talked about comments. Um, they are just like a reminder. Python will run them once you put hashtag in front of it. Python will know it's not a program, so it won't affect anything you're doing. So let's go ahead and put this. Now see what we've done here. We've created a name, a variable name, which as a reminder, variable is a container where you store things. It's also in the variable video. Excuse me. Then another variable called name. How old are you? Is going to save it. Then another variable, future age, where you get to add your present age with 10. Then you go ahead and print hello plus your name. Then you print in 10 years time, you'll be plus strings, which is your future age, and plus years old. Python is going to bring this thing all together when we run it. Okay. Now, notice that in age, like we did before, it has the integer in it. That means it's converting the string that you will put there to a number so that future age can be able to do the calculation with it. So let's go ahead and run this program. Pressing F5 on the keyboard. So here, what is the name? I'm going to enter my name, Shama. Enter. How old are you? I'm going to enter 18, then enter. And there we have it. Hello, Choma. In 10 years' time, you'll be 28. I wish. So this is how it goes. Um, you see how it works now. You take two inputs, name and age, store them in variables, do a little math, which Python will actually do, and print a friendly response. You can even make this more creative, like asking where the user lives or their favorite food. Okay, this is how the input function works in Python. The plus symbol used here in line 9, here's what's happening step by step. The plus symbol here is used to join or as we call it, concatenate pieces of strings together. Okay, they join them together. Python doesn't automatically combine words or variables. You have to explicitly connect them with a plus sign. Okay, what that's how we call it. We say concatenate. Okay. Now, so this line joins three parts. In 10 years, you'll be okay. Then it will join or concatenate future age plus years old. Now, the string future age part, the variable future age is a number. That means an integer. But Python cannot join text or strings and numbers directly. It will always return an error like we tried to do before. Now, you can only concatenate strings, not integer to strings. You cannot do both of them. You can do it separately, but not both together. To fix that, we use the string function, which converts the number into a string. Okay, that's what you see here in future age. That's why we added string before the variable to convert it back from integer to a string. Okay, so it changes from 35, which is an integer, to 35, which is a string. Of course, to the ordinary eye, you will not see this, but behind the scenes, it's telling Python what to do. This is not an integer, this is a string. So anytime you want to convert an integer to a string, you always put str before the variable. And anytime you want to convert a string to an integer, you put int before the variable. Okay? Now, after joining them, Python sees them as a complete string. In 10 years' time, you will be 28 years old. Okay? In short, the plus sign joins pieces of text together, and the string, that is the str parentheses, converts numbers to text so they can be joined together. Think of it like building a sentence from puzzle pieces. Everything must be in text form for the pieces to fit. Let's recap what we learned today. The input function, which lets your program ask questions, and it always returns text. So you use int if you're dealing with whole numbers, integers, or floats. If your numbers have something to do with balance, maybe bank balance or weight or anything that has decimals. You can also store user input in variables and use them in your print statements or calculations. In the next video, we'll take a step further and learn how to make decisions in Python using the if statements. That's where your code starts thinking for itself. Now, if this video helped you, give it a like, subscribe, and drop your challenge questions in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.